much do you want him running?
Well, I want him running when necessary. You know, you get a guy with his ability, there will be some quarterback runs called, but the dimension he brings to it is, you know, whereas Mike was going to scramble to throw, you know, Morgan needs to be willing to use his legs and make things happen when things aren't downfield in the passing game. You know, that's another dimension to the passing game that we have. So I think he's willing to do it. He needs to be willing to do it, and if he does, it affects the way defenses have to play.
Where are you with the pecking order at running back behind Sanders? I mean, has that sort of shaken out a little bit over the course of this?
Well, it has sort of shaken out. You know, we have a plan. I don't know if I'm really at liberty to tell you what it is right now, but we do have a plan. There's a definite number 2 and number 3 in there. So I expect probably 2 guys to play for sure, maybe 3 on Thursday.
Is Clemens one of those 3 guys, at least somewhere in that pecking order?
I think he looks pretty good in that number 20. So, you know, there's no reason to get a guy that looks that good and doing some of the things he's doing, keeping head on the sideline.
Talk a little bit about, Morgan said Western's defense is a little bit of an unknown. Is it maybe an advantage because your offense is kind of worrying about executing and worry about themselves a little bit?
Well, you always worry about executing and you worry about yourselves, but it's nice to have a pretty good idea of what you're going to be, you know, executing against. And it's very unusual. You know, we kind of had the same scenario a few years back when we played Miami of Ohio. We were playing a defense coordinator that hadn't really called games in 3 or 4 years. You know, we got this week we're getting ready to go play Western, and you got a defense coordinator that wasn't the D coordinator except for 1 game last year. And before that, it had been several years since he'd done it. So we worked against a lot of things. We've worked against what we expect. We put our plan in against what we expect, but we have 2 or 3 different contingency plans too in case. And, you know, fortunately, it's a first game. You know, so we've had time to do those things.
How's your offensive line doing for all the kids that got banged up?
It's nice to have some of those guys back. You know, it's nice to get Chandler back out there, have Larry back out there. You know, Stewart's been back in the mix the last couple of days. And it's amazing just how you get that experience, how the continuity improves in practice right away. You know, it's hard enough when you're replacing young receivers or you know, you got young backs in there, something like that. But when you get young linemen, it can be really disruptive. And having those guys back solidifies a lot of things that's going on offensively for us.
A little bit about